This is very troubling, and it concerns one of our most important resources, our young people, because they're the future. Schools are facing a dire teacher shortage. Less competitive pay for Gen Z and young millennials could make it worse. And this isn't just a problem for young up-and-coming teachers. According to CNBC, almost 50% of teachers are considering leaving, blaming pay, stress, and lack of respect as reasons why. That's not good. That's not good news at all. So there are problems on both ends of the spectrum here. You've got the older generation of teachers saying, that's it, we've had enough, it's time for us to leave and drop out of this game. And the younger generation of teachers who should be wanting to aspire to get involved in this industry are saying, screw this, we don't want to get involved. Now, a lot of this will stem from the lack of competitive pay. But solving the teaching crisis is not just a compensation matter alone, and more on that later. However, compensation does appear to be the key reason for many young people not selecting into the teaching industry. So, where are we on pay? Well, according to Business Insider, teachers' pay has increased since the COVID-19 pandemic. Data shows that teacher pay has increased from just under $43,000 in January 2018 to just over $51,000 in October 2023 for all those who are aged between 20 to 25. And for those who are aged between 25 to 30, pay has increased from nearly $49,500 in January 2018 to just over $59,500 in October 2023. So it does look like average pay for teachers has increased. But what haven't we been told so far? Let's scroll down a bit. New data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics on Friday showed private education and health services saw an average hourly earnings increase 3.8% from February 2023 to this past February, lower than the 6.6% increase for transportation and warehousing during that time, and 5.9% for mining and logging, and 5.8% for financial activities. So basically, teachers' pay rises were not competitive. So it looks like other careers, from a financial standpoint, are looking to be more lucrative than teaching right now. And instead of looking for ways to increase pay packets for teachers, it seems that in this country, certainly in the UK, we're doing things on the cheap. According to The Guardian, teaching assistants routinely cover lessons in England and Wales because research is showing to the extent that schools are struggling to provide qualified teachers for every class. And you can see down here, hundreds of thousands of pupils in England and Wales are being educated on the cheap by low-paid teaching assistants covering lessons for teachers who are off sick or have quit. Make no mistake about it, this is a teaching crisis, not just here, but all over the world. So, now we've got a grip of the problem. Let's now take a look at the scale of this problem. So we've commented on the wage factor and just how much competitiveness has eroded, specifically for those aged between 20 and 30, as compared to other professions. But what about those who are actually well established in their fields and have been teaching for the best part of 20 years? Bear in mind, that's the group they're trying to appeal to. The younger generation of teachers, because they are needed to continue the lifeblood of the teaching profession. Without them, I won't say it will just disappear, but the quality of teaching will certainly reduce. But how's this for a fact? There were 169,000 elementary and middle school teachers who were aged 65 years old or over in 2023. Is anybody else astonished by that? I mean, that is just mental. They're hanging around in that profession till over 65, past retirement age. Now, granted, of course, circumstances at this moment in time don't really make retirement an easy option. But the fact that they need to keep going just to keep the teaching profession alive is mental. It's absolutely mental. Well, here's the thing. And this is me as a young person giving my perspective on why there's such a crisis with the teaching profession. The lack of wages, the inability to attract people of a younger disposition into this profession. When we start out our careers, we are saying we want to dream. We want to be able to buy a house. We want to be able to get a good car. We want to be able to afford having a family. We want to be able to travel around the world. We want to be able to have good holidays. We want to be able to live a good life and be proud of our profession, be proud of our family, be proud of who we are as individuals. If circumstances don't allow us to feel like that, then naturally we are going to gravitate away from that and see if we can find something better. This isn't a social relationship, it's a question of surviving, because financially, if you shoot yourself in the foot for lower wages, you're going to struggle. And in this economy in particular, we've touched on inflation being rampant, not just here at home, but throughout the world. Wages do matter, so the financial incentive is important. Now, I know that Gen Z and millennials in particular are victims of this world of instant gratification. I mean, with the rise of social media, we get results pretty quickly. So in careers and wage packets, we expect results pretty quickly. It is quite astonishing the number of college and university graduates who leave the place thinking that they're going to land a very high-paying 5-figure job or even a 6-figure job. I mean, that's not the reality of the world, unfortunately. Now, I don't begrudge anyone wanting to go out there and make a lot of money at a very young age. You know, it's very hard to make money. And if you've got the drive, the ambition to get out there and do better for yourself, chapeau to you, you deserve success. Albeit, I think a lot of the money will be put towards paying off the massive student loans that Gen Z have taken out, because at the moment they're taking out, in the UK certainly, something like $15,000 a year if you factor in the tuition fees and the maintenance loans. In the US, I think it's something like $60,000 a year or something, which is insane to me, but there you go. So to tackle this, you've got to tackle the financial problem. Young up-and-coming teachers, and even some established teachers, cannot be expected to teach for so long, mark numerous different college essays or school essays in after-school hours, and live on a shoestring budget. I mean, it's not appealing enough to attract the new generation of teachers to join the industry. So the financial aspect deals with the recruitment side. But the other big question is, why are the teachers leaving in their droves? What is forcing them out, or why are they choosing to drop out? That is the bigger question that also needs addressing. Well, I think as a starting point, it makes sense to actually show the teachers the respect that they deserve for the work that they do. But I also think we need to look at the curriculum that teachers are basing their lessons upon, because it doesn't seem like it's fit for purpose in the modern day and age. Not all kids are academics. Some are slow developers. Some are not used to the standardized examination routines that we force upon them at a young age. And from my perspective, certainly, and this is just an opinion, but the education system doesn't really take into account those who are not academically blessed, if that makes sense. Because it's seen almost as if you don't pass this exam, you're a failure. At what, the age of 11? This kid hasn't even started his life yet. It's what I don't think the exam boards and maybe even the politicians don't understand by doing this with the standardized curriculums. We're creating test takers, not pathfinders. Some kids may be better building or constructing with their hands as opposed to using their brains for the academic route, but we're not helping them find their path. That's the problem. So teachers can't do their job to their full effect, if that makes sense. Then there's also disciplinary issues, because younger generations, most notably young kids, all under the age of 11, tend to have a tendency to misbehave. And teachers are now getting pushback from parents saying, "Why did you speak to my child like this? Why did you send my child to detention?" You know, when in our opinion, he didn't do anything wrong. So teachers are now being constricted because school boards and politicians are so scared of the backlash from parents that teachers can't actually discipline their classroom and teach these kids good manners and respect and how to behave. So teachers are now being required to do more than teach, but when they are actually teaching, they can't even create their own lesson plan because the curriculum is what they have to adhere to. Sweep clear the bureaucracy, lift this massive burden off the shoulders of teachers, and let's give them the chance to teach effectively, appropriately, and help our young people find their paths in life. That is the way forward. We need to evolve beyond this current system. Teachers have such an incredible duty of care to the up-and-coming generations. It's so important that we back them. Obviously, the bad apples, get rid of them. But the vast majority of good, hard-working teachers, they're not in there to try and fleece the system. They're there to help the younger generation find their path in life. Not to sound all hippie all of a sudden, but they're in it for the love as well. The passion that they have in raising the next generation. And there we have it. We've officially reached the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. If any teachers have tuned into this, thank you for all you're doing in helping to raise the next generation of kids. Let me know your thoughts, drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I look forward to seeing as many of you in the next video, but until then, stay safe, God bless, and the best of luck in your job hunts. I'll see you all very soon. Take care.